Namaste, Jai Bharat. Something very strange and something quite not normal had recently happened in Bharat. That's concerning the airlines. We have made great leap forward in air travels. Previously, air travels are very expensive for us. You count it like your per capita income and this kind of expenses for your travels. You find it's huge difference. You find the air travels are very expensive. But then, of late, with lot of changes in policies, many airlines came into existence. Many new routes came into existence, and so many airports were developed in Bharat, and things became affordable. On the one hand, our economic level got increased, and on the other hand, these airlines became affordable. With the income of an average man, you could afford to go by air. And slowly we find there are many very good companies. So many of them, or quite a few of them, got closed down. Really don't know what could really be the reason. Maybe extravagance, or maybe they're not able to pay back the loans they must have taken, etc., etc., various reasons. Then quite a few companies got closed down. And the official airline of Bharat, both Indian Airlines and Air India, they got merged, and that had been given back to its original owner, that is Jamshedji Rustamji Tata. They were owning these airlines, so they were purchased. But then the staff under socialistic principles won't work. That's one advantage with the capitalistic principle. Though the disadvantage is that the capitalists will suck your blood, make you work. You can't help it. But in the socialistic regime, particularly in the communist regime, since your things are guaranteed, you will not work. Your creativity never comes forward. That's a serious drawback. You are getting exploited in the capitalist system, all right. In the corporate system, my sons are working 12 hours plus. So that is a part of it. Otherwise, you won't work at all. There will be zero productivity, zero outcome. So better this be the case. So at least there will be output. So somehow many airlines got closed down. Some airlines which I really liked, which is very convenient to me. From the place where I live, 2 kilometers away is my airport. Lot of flights were there. I don't want to say all kinds of reasons. They are inoperative. They are just closed. In the meantime, the Air India, the employees still behave as in government socialistic structure. So their output is questionable. And then comes this Indigo. In no time, Indigo becomes very popular. They don't give anything to eat, you have to pay for it, and the seats are so hard. More than a 1.5 hour flight makes your back pain. All those things are there. Space, all crumbled, crowded, but they have an excellent feature. That's they keep time. If they show their flying time more, and somehow to claim that they reach before time, because they show flying time more. Well, I have learned air navigation when I was in the Air Force. I know the flying time. And with all the taking of landing story, this will take only this much of actual flying time. So it's easy. Once the ATD is available, ETA can be predicted with much accuracy, barring climatic eventualities, but otherwise normal. Absolutely, we can. No, it's not a prediction; it's simply calculation. So they will show flying time more and then claim they have reached on time. That's a gimmick that everybody understands, but innocent kind of fraud. So we won't take it serious. When you travel in Indigo, the timing says that you've reached on the train. I know that you'll be reaching roughly at this time. That is sufficient. So that is, but then they used to keep time. Unless disturbance in the operation. And though they don't give anything to eat, better service. Seating and all is crumbled, space problem is there, but then just manage. Relatively cheaper. Tata's Vistar was much better in any case, but alright, people depend on Indigo, and Indigo was flying blue. And then suddenly they have started cancelling their flights without prior intimation. People reach the airport, then suddenly, maybe in many cases after getting checked in, waiting at the boarding gate, the announcement comes there, your flight is cancelled. Why, how, what you will do, will it resume, when it will take off, he said, will there be any substitute? No information. The ground crew are not told, so they don't know how to react. Suddenly Indigo behaved like this. And that was on a large scale. Throughout Bharat, it was not an exceptional happening. It appears to a common man with common sense, obviously with common sense. This was deliberate. It was virtually deliberate. By then, more than 60% of operation was with this one company, Indigo, by then. So they had almost near a kind of monopoly in flying. But then something happened. We have this Director General of Civil Aviation, DGC. We have norms. Concerning these kind of airlines that operate. It's like we have norms for drive. That's his telephone connections, telephone companies. So some restrictions were brought into place by government of Bharat, concerning the operating conditions of air crew. That is very decent, very required. That, of course, was aimed at containing exploitation by the company of the crew. A pilot, you can't ask him to fly continuously. So there were some checks and balances. Some instructions were given that you can't do that. As a result, these people were actually, like any corporate sector that we experience, they're taking the best of this people, maximum of these people. It's something like this I heard when I was a student in school. One of my teacher was telling that is bringing out, extracting butter from buttermilk. Just think about it. Trying to extract butter from buttermilk, taking everything. That kind of situation exists. People have to overwork to continue existing. So these restrictions came. Actually, things were set into a place, and this must have offended. This is my speculation. I have no records. All that I have is my Air Force experience. So they must have my speculation really. So it must have offended the masters who run the flying airlines, and they have actually tried to show their monopoly, something very close to monopoly, by disturbing the passengers in flights. Well, this was too much of an arrogance by a single airliner because they thought they are the only ones they have monopoly. Many others have lost. I don't know why it happens. It should not have happened. I don't know how these people can't manage it. It should not have happened. But then it happened with quite a few airliners. Are they amateurs who put their hands in airlines? I don't know. Should not have happened. But had happened. Not once, several times. Now, Bharat is announcing 3 new airlines, allowing 3 new airlines to operate. The details will come in time. So, the 60% monopoly will be cut down. That's natural way competitive world goes forward. There shall be competition. When there is competition, price will be less, operating services will be better, situation will be better. That's how the world progresses. Once there is no competition, once there is no enthusiasm, nothing new comes out. That's what happens in communist setup. You don't have to do anything, everything is guaranteed. So your initiative is as good as anybody's initiative. Your extra age, your contribution will never be understood and never will be wanted. You will be getting the same thing on a routine which is guaranteed. So your enthusiasm goes, your competition goes. That's one problem with the communist kind of regime, socialist regime, etc. But for a healthy world, for a thriving world, there will be such restrictions of taking the best of a person will be there. But then the outcome will also be better overall, which the nation needs, society needs, and nation needs. So this new airlines, let's hope they will operate from many places and will be better, hopefully. And this monopoly is questioned. At least, if you have a flying time for 1.5 hours, or if you have flying time more than 1.5 hours, your back wouldn't get pain, as it used to happen in India for me. I don't know if anybody else has it. Very hard seat it used to be. Very hard seat. So we shall wait again. Namaste. Jai Bharat. Jai Siya Ram.